How you doing, guys? Hi, Bruce and Geezer and Mark in. How are you, Donald? Hey, Stefan. Donald, I got the that information that you sent me. Thank you. And anyhow, I've been running down all this stuff and putting up a solar light. So anyway, what have you guys been up to? Let's see. Sound and video are good. Thanks, Donald. Hi, Fikey. How you doing? I see you're drinking beer. I wish I were. I wish I had a big stein here and just la, 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 la. I don't know if any of you guys are beer drinkers or not. I'm not much of a drinker at all, but a good beer or a good glass of wine or a good Manhattan or yeah, they can help. Hey, Junior Johnson, how are you, sir? Oh, okay. Hey, Lee. how are things in Frackin' Gulch? Had to get a name for your town too. Hi, Doctor A and B. Oh, hey Eddie, how you doing? We've got a watch now. I was just thinking of helping Eddie out. Um, this one doesn't have an hour hand or a second hand or anything. Maybe we could have a watch with just an hour hand and no minute hand, but a second hand. How does that sound? That would get old Eddie out of the after you broke a minute hand. Oh, I'll make a watch without a minute hand. Hi, Mark. How you doing? Don't mention it, Eddie. Um, Mark had sent me a bunch of stuff. Mark J had sent me a bunch of stuff. The and I was looking at it, and the thing of it is, and Mark, you got your poor Mark. I think you set yourself up for more research because you did such a really found out all of this really interesting stuff on retrogrades and so forth. But the thing is that it's like to me, research is like pulling a piece of string in a sweater, and the whole thing comes unraveled. And that's what research is, I think, on watch research. You go down, you find something, you see a footnote, you follow that footnote, and that leads to another one, and you follow it up, and just and that's how you get all kinds of interesting information. So that's what I've been doing. Oh yeah, my this is my Johnny Cupcake and Crossbones today. We're sort of getting hints of we got big hints of spring, and I think that I don't know. Well, we had sort of a snow NATO the other day. It was so weird. This weather's been weird, and now they say, oh, we're going to have a big hurricane season. That's great. That's all we need. What next? Uh, well, anyway, it'll be like an old-fashioned pocket watch it doesn't have a minute hand because it is so inaccurate that the minute doesn't matter. The flowers are blooming here. Yeah, they are here too. It's awfully nice. You had summer, great. Yeah, winter and rain. Well, it's sort of this time of year is where things sort of go all over the place. Um, I think June is definitely supposed to be summer. This about this time last year, I was talking to Rolf Lang, and he sent the watts that we've been passing around. I gotta that thing is due to go home, so that's another thing. Um, okay, let me sort of put together stuff that I got from Mark and Donald and some other people. Um, which was a lot of fun. We had, uh, let me sort of start with sort of rewind a lot of places. We started with this, okay? I thought, well, all we got to do is to take out one of those jumping hours and have one jumping hour, and Bob's your uncle. We've got to watch, and we've had some different designs for it. Okay, now, in following it, um, this this is what was on my mind, is that here you have the movement. It's called this is an Agenor movement, 60249. It had the dual, for the dual jumping hours on it. And so they are simply two discs. And um, so I thought, well, maybe all they'd have to do would just pop off one of those discs and that's it. Maybe not. Um, and so I thought, well, finding some origins. Now, this one, I talked about this one to some extent yesterday. This is Chanel's jumping hour. It's exactly like the same idea that we have, except it's got the small seconds here. This is a watch I always really liked. It's called a Chanel Mon Dieu. My bad French, I'm sorry, I do try. Uh, and it was designed by Roman Guether. And I didn't know that, but anyway, it's called Caliber One, and this is a Chanel caliber. And eventually, so when you go down the rabbit hole, uh, this is where I ended up with this one from Gerald Genta. Now, this we trace that, myself and others, which is sort of fun when you're. So it's like going on a treasure hunt. And at the base of this is an ETA 2892A2. Well, you can't get those anymore. And so, because they're just having them for the swatch. But the SW 300 1 by Salida is, voila, this is what it is. Now, the thing is again, I think I've told everybody this a couple of times. But when people say, "Oh, well, the SW 300 is a clone," well, yeah, very much so. But remember, they were working not against or trying to copy us, ETA, but rather what they were doing was that they were taking up the slack that ETA couldn't provide, and so what they did was ETA was very glad to have them there providing movements for them. And so they gave them all of the specs and everything for their movements. So it's not only a clone, but it's not sort of a copycat thing in the sense that we're going to try to make ours like theirs, but we'll make it a little different. Instead, it's exactly like theirs. And from some of the stuff that I read, they said um, the Salida actually had gotten certain parts of it better. I've heard the same thing about the some of the other ones that Salida did, so that's good. I worked on one of these, and just not this particular one, but I worked on a Salida for this course I had, and destroyed it because it was one of those small ones. I don't know. This particular one, I think it was is thinner. It's either the 300 or the 500, one of those two, is a thinner version of. Oh yeah, no, it's this one. This is a thinner version of the SW 200, and so I guess the 2892-A2 was a thinner version of something that ETA had. But so here the only clue we got is the minute hand. It's a center minute, and so and this is the front. So you're going to have something that is going to be able to turn the minute hand, and so what you need is simply something on here that will turn it around to a certain point and then pop it back again. How they're going to do that, I'm not exactly sure. But I found a really great little animation, or it may have been actual filming of how that works. Uh, so that's where we are right now. I have no idea what's going on at Aganor. The last time I heard from Nicholas Vidarek was like, yeah, we're give me a couple more days. So I'm hoping to hear next week. And again, we don't know, you know, where Switzerland is with everything from their water supply to the whole thing with the pandemic. So it's just an awkward time. Okay, doke. So what's going on? Let's see. Oh, good. Hey, Crappy, how you doing? Oh, the Chanel. Yeah, that's Chanel. Chanel uh, won a prize for the ladies' watch for this J12. Well, the J12 has been around for a long time from Chanel, and I don't know what they had in it before, but apparently on the latest one, and they have both a men's and a woman's model. The men's is black, the women's is white. You know, okay. Um, and but that's the one that Finnessy and Tudor are somehow involved with. I think it's Finnessy or something like that's the name of the movement maker, and they're the ones that are building a movement factory in Geneva. This is Tudor and Finnessy with Chanel, I think, is involved too. Yeah, Chanel's involved as well, and the land is owned by Rolex. you know? Okay. Hey, Stuart, how you doing? Dr. A and B, Burning Mr. B, how are you? Hi, NS something. Cupcake sure survives the day. You bet my cupcake did. It's been around for years. I got it on our vacation a long time ago. Thought you had a conversation with them over the phone. With who, Mark? Oh, with Aganor. Yeah, I did. But that was a long time ago, and so I prefer emailing them back and forth than I do a conversation over the phone, simply because I have such crappy hearing. If you can't hear very well, that's why I like foreign movies. They have subtitles. I don't. Anyway, um, yeah, I had a conversation with Nicholas Vidarek. Maybe that's what I'll do. If I don't hear from him tomorrow, I'll give him a call. That's a good idea. And then I'll put on my headset and everything so I can hear him. Hi, Sean. How you doing, Raj? Just an observation, but Paddock or AP don't seem to up in conversation. P.S. Love the cupcake. It's Johnny Cupcake. It's a cupcake and cupcake and crossbones. I mean, like, what's not to like? No, I tell you something they had. I was looking. I went to the Johnny Cupcake website, and they got a whole bunch of stuff for sale, including you can get a Johnny Cupcake mask, but they just have a little cupcake and crossbones over on the side. Oh man, they should have a great big one on the front. So I'm going to get one of those. And so when I have to go to the grocery store, someplace where you need them, um, better get them. Oh, hi Hans, how are you? Mark, why? See, you come up with stuff. Text works great without it. I just send emails. Uh, there are other things you need to do with that. Why make it difficult? Oh gosh. All right, let's see. Hummingbird Bakery in London does decent cupcakes. Ah, that's good to know. Uh, their red velvet cupcakes is nice. Oh, all right. Geezer, are you in London, Geezer? No? Okay. Um, oh, you are. Oh, all right. Uh, I haven't been to London in years. When God, it's been a long time since I've been there. Oh, okie doke. So anyway, that's where we are right now in terms of you know everything that we've been talking about. Um, Mark, just focus on watches, okay? I don't need any interaction help, but thank you. Oh man, hey Hans. Okay, so let's figure out uh, other options that we have. Okay, what's going on? Um, okay, all right, Mark, I got something for you. All right, you want to send secret messages? You want to have something that's really hard to break? I think it's called Signal. And apparently, I guess people dealing dope and other kinds of things that I shouldn't know anything about use Signal. And now you have some, and not only does it send a message, but it also disappears or something afterwards. And so it can't be traced. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, Greenwich. Blackheath. Oh, Greenwich. Now I was in Greenwich a while ago. Greenwich is um Greenwich is I was at the Greenwich Maritime Museum. Man, I tell you, that place is amazing. They have all of Nelson's battles and they got everything there. Really amazing place. They even have poor old Nelson's uniform shot full of holes. Good God. They had his dog. Yeah. Oh, Mark. Yeah. Let's just try to focus, my man. Your stuff that you had. Mark really got on the ball with some research, and the next step. You got your next step, Mark. And for anybody else who wants to do this, follow up the notes on it. Is that the idea is to get down to the base, and that was how I finally got down to here, even though they don't have the 2892 available for everybody like they used to. They now have there's a way to get to it. But so the next step would be is to find. I think Donald found it. He uh, had the reference number on the junta movement that does this. Now, trying to find here's something for you. Okay, find the an image of the junta movement that uh, that moved this guy. All right, now I know what it's based on, but I haven't been able to find an image of it. The back of this is a solid thing that says junta. Okay, yeah, that's it, Donald. It's called the GG 7726. All right. Now the next thing, you guys no, no, I gotta, hey Mark, Mark, you really did a good job. You really dug some good stuff up, man. That's what this is all about. This is a hard one though, trying to find an image of the GG 7726. Okay. That would be interesting to see because then we could get an idea of what goes into that. Who did they use for a retrograde module? See, the whole thing about Agonor is that they've been making these for years. They've been making the retrograde modules. They made them for, gee, every time you see somebody who won a Grand Prix award with a retrograde, there's always and they get very little credit for it. Oh yeah. By the way, too, Agonor did the retrograde on it. Like an afterthought, or when they won the Chronograph award. So, oh yeah, by the way, it has an Eigengraph uh, chronograph in it. So the reason that this kind of stuff is I think is important not only do you learn more about the watch that you're trying to develop, but also the the kind of thinking that goes into it. I This one they have uh, is that I found with the animation of the different kind of gizmos they have for doing jumping hours and doing retrograde. It's really fascinating. And so I'm thinking, okay, here you've got something like this. Is Eddie still here? What we'll do is that this is even with a broken minute hand, Eddie could take something like this and let's see if we could figure out have somebody make it for us, or simply there's a module that I know that Agenhor has that for the retrograde that they did on my Harry Winston. So, well, maybe you can figure out how to get that thing working. What part of Londinium do you live, Geese? West. Okay, West London. Okay, you know where Brixton is, Geezer? All right. That was when my son was working on his doctorate um, at London School of Economics and Goldsmith. He moved into Brixton's because he was trying to find out about British gangs and London gangs in particular. So I moved right in the middle of the place, and I went to see him one day, and I was going back up to the tube, and there this guy was shooting up heroin into his ankle on the train station. My son has been living there. Was shocked. He was shocked. My God, he's doing that right in front of us. Like, and another guy was stoned out of his gourd, telling me that he was King of England or the Queen of England. It was a strange place, but a lot of fun. It's things like that. Oh, okay. Del Rey has a Genta with a retrograde in. Oh, really? Ah, I have to pay a visit to Sydney Greenstreet and see what he has to say. Oh, hey, Raj. Let's see what's going on. Brixton's got some nice fried chicken shops. Is that what they have? Okay. Um, they had that place is God. I tell you. Hi, Abraham. How you doing, man? Okay, so let's see. Let's have some new ideas that you have about what we should do next. Oh, okay. So why don't we do this? LSE, that's right, Hans. You know the full name of LSE, I found out was London School of Economics and Political Science. I'll put on my LSE sweatshirt. I got all my shirts he's got. Um, okay, where is that number that Donald had? Where did he put that? GG7726. Hang on a second. GG726. The module will be hard to find pictures of. Oh, I know it would be. You found a picture of the base. Okay, now that's Gerard Perrigo, right? Yeah. You know what? There's a guy. I know a guy who works at Gerard Perrigo, and so he started looking up all of this stuff, and because I wasn't sure whether it really was his Gerard Perrigo, and he found it. It was really cool the way he did it, and he had all of these. I don't know, blueprint drawings or whatever they're called. And there was one that had Gerard Perregaux, and then another one that had Harry Winston, and that was how we tracked it down. That's a lot of fun. Oh, maybe we can. We whether it's hard or not. If it's hard and we find it, that's all the more fun. Um, okay, let's see. Okay, the Dancefit website has a picture of the base and an article about the watch. And that's something. Uh, is the is does that mean that the it's the Gerard Perrigo base? Oh, on the Bi Retro, yeah, on the Bi Retro it is. But I meant on the on this guy right here. This is the one that would be to find the base on. That's one because this has got both things. It has the retrograde minutes and the jumping hour together. So that would be sort of an interesting thing to find. In my early city trader days, hung out there, 151 class, World's End Pub. Why is it when the, the Brits and Germans talk about London, they end up talking about drinking in pubs? Not that Americans don't. Okie doke. Crazy Harry's. All right. Jesus. All right. Well, listen, guys. Let's see. What's that one? The Dan Spitz. I'm gonna check a look at that. And let's see if we can find a picture of the GG77 26. Geeta talks about fried chicken, and I suggest, and I no, you didn't suggest an idea for a movement. You suggested an idea of how to talk to somebody over the internet. Oh, Jesus. God, that's what my wife does. Not only do I am I told what to say if I say the wrong thing. Like, oh, it's okay to listen to me talking on the phone. Oh, the one at Del Rey does too, but it's a square watch. If that makes a difference. Um, oh my God, Mark. Okay, thanks. You know something, by the way, too. I got a recommendation. This guy is called Sapphire Renovator. It's a French. I think that sounds French to me. Um, Somebody was saying that this is really good for your watch band. So I thought I'll try it. Uh, and I got some in it. I don't know. I usually use neat foot oil, which is sounds somewhat primitive, almost like medieval type of things. I don't know. Geezer, what kind of strap did you use it on? Because my stuff, it feels well, not on this one, but on some of my straps, it felt sticky, like you spilled honey on it or something, and it has sort of a sticky stuff. But a lot of other people have been saying the same thing. Now, I just got the general stuff, and most of my bands are Gator, and and like I said, generally use neat foot oil on them, and that stuff is great. But like I said, it does sound a tad medieval. But that's okay. You can, I got a 55-gallon drum of this stuff, so I'm not going to run out anytime soon. Um, anyway, okay. All right, let's check out the maybe uh Fed knows something about it. Okay, I use Sapphire products for my leather shoes, not watch straps. Okay, if you have to make sure you sue the right products for right leather. I think you mean use. I'm not going to sue anybody on the right. product for the right leather. Different leather requires different care products. Yeah, that's this one though. They said that it works with everything, including yeah. Have a good day too. Now listen, Mark, you got the job. You're gonna go and you're gonna find that GG 7726. All right, because you got a really good start on your research. Okay, that's what you need to do more of, and you can really, get yourself squared away with learning about watches. Hi, Dog Pod. What you celebrating something? Uh, okay. Well, listen, guys. I gotta go. I got. I'm gonna try some smoke signals to try to get a hold of them. How would that work? All right, you guys. Take care. Hasta mañana.